What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Friday Night Live. This week, I don't have a ton that I need to, well, it's not a great way to put it. I have a lot of stuff that I could do, but Matt and I are planning our 24-hour build-off that starts tomorrow. And I can't work on that ahead of time. So, oh, no sound. Wait, what? No. Evidently, people can hear me, cannot hear me. We have sound. Okay, someone's just trying to get me. Or, well, good. It is working then. So that was not for a waste. Let me adjust my chat. So this week, just kind of hang out, try and answer as many answerable things as I can, and hang out. I've got a couple little things that I'm just going to kind of wrench on in front of me, but mainly I'm going to try and focus on just chatting through what we've got going on. We'll grab trucks, we'll grab whatever we've got to have handy to talk about. You building for 24 hours straight tomorrow? That is pretty much my plan. So it's technically starting tomorrow afternoon and going until Sunday afternoon, 24 hours, but it's spanning Saturday and Sunday. So otherwise, if it was starting at midnight and ending at midnight, I think I'd be off of this already, because I am planning on I will sacrifice as much sleep as I can to get as much work in as possible. So by all means, I'm going to put in maximum effort. Are you going to post the full build list afterwards? I'm trying not to let Matt know what my plans are, because I'm going all in. I'm going to do absolutely all I can during it. And I'm not just parts slapping. I'm not just doing upgrade parts on there. That is not the plan. I'm going to legit try and turn it into something fairly unique in that time period. Is there a goal for that truck that has to meet, or no, it is just a literal, the goal is it's 24 hours. What can you do in 24 hours? That is the plan. What hat is that? This is the Vanquish comp stance hat. So the comp stance guy, Vanquish on the back. So I'm looking forward to it. I've been trying to talk Matt into a 24-hour challenge for a while. And it's finally, this was the one. I've been trying to push him on this like mini mayhem. Like, we do mayhem, but it's not a whole month-long one. It's just a shorter one. Like, let's just find a little truck, find a project, whatever, and just try and hammer on as best we can. Whether it was a weekend or a day, whatever it is. That's the... Brian Sherwood, thank you, sir. Will you tell the truth tonight? I mean, it's hard to say what it's on. Sometimes you have to hide the truth from those that aren't ready to hear it. So yeah. So Harley Deadpool design, maximum effort. Yes. That what just got sent to me. Yeah, that is so if you didn't know, we're going to be working on the base camp. The base camp that you guys have seen released over the last week or so, week and a few days. That's going to be the one. So I'm not touching it until then, as far as actual build, because Matt and I have a live call tomorrow before the timer starts, so we can show each other the stock vehicles, and it's honor system beyond that. While we can use anything we have, I didn't like fab up a bunch of stuff beforehand and then just like gonna bolt it on and be like, look what I did. The plan is going to be to truly try and build whatever I possibly can. If I have some things here that are already going to be built or used and that are going to find its way on there. But, you know. John Kavanaugh, thank you, sir. Since it's the random question stream, if the barber in a town only shaves the men in town who do not shave themselves, does he shave himself? He only... yeah, because if he shaves himself, then he shaves himself and he can't shave himself. But if he doesn't, then he's the one... So no, he doesn't. Because it doesn't say that all of the men who don't shave themselves have to be barbered. So no, he can't. Moose Jaw, thank you, sir. So do you have 2 base cams? Brian Sherwood, new vehicle from Vanquish for 2022. I mean, there's a lot of year left. It's like, I feel like I could... Now, if I said yes and then something happened and it turned... You know, it's like... Could there be? Yes, there could be. Will there be? It's like, there's a lot of factors that come into play. Have we made our last new vehicle? Of course not. Is there a chance that another new one could land within the calendar year? Of course there is. So the answer is yes? Question mark? Oh, it says he shaves himself. Damn it. That sounds like yes. But it's not yes. Because it could be no. So there might not be a new vehicle this year. It's hard to say. Have we made our last vehicle ever? Of course not. When the next one comes, that's the tough question. It wasn't no. Did you order any small trenchers for the base camp? Do they make small trenchers? I didn't know that. No, I did not. I do have to go to the hobby shop tomorrow because there is one thing in particular that I need. So I was talking Matt into another mayhem though. A full monthly mayhem though. 24 scale trenchers. Maybe not. Teased today by Proline, Class 1 trenchers. I have not been on the internet today. I've been freaking swamped. Paul Schulman, thanks again. Vanquish would consider making a plastic cage buggy, possibly sized for 2.2s. That's always been a truck that, like, those trucks are trucks that I have always myself liked. The original Wraith was like my favorite RC vehicle, period. Then the Bomber replaced that, and I absolutely loved the Bomber for a long time. The 1.9 Wraith has been one that I really liked. I thought it was underappreciated, though. Capra, not as much. So, like, but still one that I've truly enjoyed. So it would be something that I would love to do. You know, it's just... That's a lot. That's a big project. Like molds are what costs a lot in those like production or mass market vehicles. That stuff's expensive. So it's like something I'd love to do one day though, for sure. Tom Havel, Sourdough Jack in the house. Thank you, sir. Monthly mayhem with Dancing Riders, top speed challenge, but C1 scale points apply and are 50% of your score. Applying scale points to things that don't need scale points, that is an amazing idea. That's a great idea. Scale points. Ooh. Should write that down somewhere. Writing it down. Needs a new page. What's the one thing? Don't be ninja-ing things that don't need ninja. I don't know what that came from, but we always say it. I feel like if I just put it on a piece of paper like this, I'm going to loot. I'm just writing it large because I'm going to put it somewhere so I don't lose it, because that's a great idea. Hellbilly as well. Only 55 likes here in Western New York. Show this man some support. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. It was a good, I'm not saying it because of this, but it was still a good Friday. Had a good day at work. I had to leave early though and take Nicole to the airport because she was finally able to depart to go back home. And it wasn't a good Friday because she left. It's just, it was been a good Friday. I feel like I need to clarify that, even though she's on a plane right now and can't hear me say these words. So, jumping back into comments. Vanquish Ripper in a plastic cage. Seems like the Ripper was a huge hit. Why not make it a cage that attached to a VS410? I know what you mean. Now, the Ripper was a hit in a very unique way. Like, for something that there was less than 200 of ever, like, is that a hit? It has its own status because of its super limited, expensive, like, so it was a hit, but not like in a normal traditional measure. Gunnar Nissen, thanks for joining. Satisfied Jerky promo code for tonight is hashtag eat my meaty sticks. Why does it have to be meaty sticks? Right? It's just meat. Did you mean meat or did you mean meaty? You put meaty, so Dana put it and I'm pinning it. Make sure you have meaty on the website. And do I have meat sticks handy still? Ooh, I still have one thing of meat sticks left. They're the original ones. Still, I think I'll need those for build snacks for this weekend. So I'm not gonna do that yet. Plus, I shouldn't eat on stream, even though I do most of the time. Cut my brand new Swampers or not cut? I feel like Swampers are one that is appropriate to cut, especially if they're 2.2. If they're 1.9, maybe don't cut. 2.2 cut, of 1.9 don't. Going crawling Sunday at Castor Shut-ins. Have you ever been there, Josh? Also called Pink Rock. No, I have not been there. Is that on the St. Louis side? Ryan, you're in Missouri, right? If I remember. No, I have never been Castor Shut-ins. I remember a place called like Johnson's Shut-ins. That's in Missouri. Maybe you're not in Missouri. Fredericktown is where it says that is. Ooh, that's a pretty legit place though. Huh. I mean, from the photos at least. Oh, it is, yeah. It says Missouri, okay. Yes, I'm in Missouri. Castor River Shut-ins. Never heard of it. I think the one I remember is called Johnson Shut-ins in Missouri, which was kind of cool. That was always the tough part. Missouri's like, you drive everywhere and there's just walls of rock all over the place. But like finding good rock to crawl on was so difficult at times. So it was always like just a matter of finding. I know that's a issue in many places, but still, that's the hardest thing about, like rock crawling back in the day, even though I still kind of like aim my trucks towards rock crawling. It's scale and trail, things like that now are not necessarily rock crawling specific. So it's so hard for me to get used to that. Let's see. We're cranking along here. If I wanted to upgrade a Capra four-wheel steer with the Vanquish axles, would I just need to get two fronts, or do I need to mod the back axle to fit? You could just get two fronts if you wanted to do that. That would be the method of doing it. You don't need to do anything different. It's all arranged the same. They are offset, so they're going to be offset opposite, but it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah, but it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing different about a steering rear axle than a front. It's the same thing, just like a rear axle. It's no different. The gears aren't flipped or anything like that. It's very straightforward. And so, but anyway, I do have some wheels that I need to assemble. No reason in particular. Just, not for anything. Just going to put together some wheels. How do you like your new Milwaukee vacuum? Adam, I used it for the first time the other day. Sorry, hold on. Noise. So I used it for the first time the other day, and I was super pleased with it. It's the 18 volt version. They have a 12 volt and an 18 volt, and man, I absolutely love it. It's super compact. I need to get used to using it more because now that I have it, it's so handy. Like my old shop vac, just not nearly as convenient, and it's a game changer for me, at least. Will Thompson, thank you, sir. Trail Honcho brushed motor recommendations. If you like a little bit more wheel speed than maybe some people, I would say a 27 turn Holmes Torque Master Expert. If you like slow crawling a little bit more technical, then go with like the 35 turn Torque Master Expert. If you really like smooth though, like super smooth, then go with the Crawlmaster side, and the 16 turn Crawlmaster is like just buttery smooth. Starts up at just nothing, it just creeps. So that would be mine. That would be my recommendations. And I think those are still basically what I showed in my in my Honcho budget build, however long ago. So all of that stuff for brushed motors has never changed my preferences. Let's see. Just got done with graduation. Congratulations on graduating. Go off to college. So big day. Would you use any other wheels besides Vanquish? I mean, would I? Yeah, if there was something that I thought I liked more and offered me something that I think that the machining detail is the best on these. I maintain that regardless. I think that the detail and the hardware size and the finish overall is the best. If I didn't think that, I would try and figure out a way for us to do it better. But I think that it's still the best machining that you can get in RC wheels. So, hello from Alaska. What portals can I run on my AX10? Ooh, original AX10. So AX10, the one thing there is that you're going to need a chassis or a servo on axle. And that is... So there's the Vanquish SCX10 2 axles that you can get a servo on axle mount for. That will allow you to run 4-link still. I'm trying to think about other options, like more, easier to buy or cheaper to buy options. I don't know what you're after for sure, but like that's one. He could use Capra axles, right? That's a great suggestion as well. Capra axles or servo on axle, a little bit wider than your AX10 though, but still worth it. It's still not that bad. You're going to be about 3/4 of an inch wider, so you'd be fine. Let's see, Vanquish 1.5. What do you mean? Josh, did your barber die? Brian, no. I'm actually letting my hair grow longer than I ever have before. Yeah, Not something I've ever done before, but I'm gonna do it. Where's Light Bright? Thanks, DK. Greetings from Wisconsin. Hello. Do they exist? Oh, are you asking for 155 wheels? If you're asking about Vanquish 155s, then no, they do not. Rift axles. Rift axles wouldn't be a great choice for an AX10 because they use larger pinion outputs. So you're looking at like, whoa, you're looking at custom drive shaft, manipulation or trying to find parts that will adapt a 6mm and a 5mm. So Josh wants to be twinsies with Mr. Holmes. Yeah, midlife crisis on the hippie hair. It's not that long yet. I tell you what, when my hair gets long, you can start seeing the gray coming in pretty good. Well, not so much here yet, but without my... Trust me. He's gonna man bun the crap out of that. Que pasa from LA County. Let's see. Are you going to be able to go next week to Dead Man's Crawl in Horseman's Park? I don't know. I was supposed to be down in LA this weekend for the Clash of the Cardinals at Horseman's, and I'm just unfortunately not going to be able to make it. I wasn't planning on going down next weekend. I was planning to go this weekend because it was a competition, and I'm in like competition mode. I'm actually thinking about, so we've got our last local competition for the spring happening in 2 weeks, or not this weekend, but not this weekend, but next weekend. So but then after that, we're not going to have anything until October. So I'm actually thinking about possibly doing my own like 5 comp series here locally, just to make for some more competition. So just because I really enjoy running gates. I really, really do enjoy that. So it's just like, it's one of those things, like I feel like if no one else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. So that's my plan. I think that I'm actually going to just push through and make that happen. If you could, I'm not purposefully like skipping past tons and tons of questions, but rather than like keep trying to scroll and catch, I'm just grabbing something and reading. So if you've got a question that you really want answered, you can just keep putting it in there. I'm sure I'll probably see it, try and get it answered. But if you could get another motorcycle, would you get another Busa or a Harley? Oh, that's such a tough question. I've looked at the new Hayabusas. I would love to buy another Busa. But I would like to have like a Street Glide. That would be on my list for sure. I'm to that, kind of to that point where like I wouldn't mind having a bagger. So I don't know. But it's so hard to not want another Hayabusa. I think though, so I've been talking with like the mods about it as well. I've been itching bad for another motorcycle. Road Glide is life. I know. Road Glide, Street Glides, like I have such a hard time. But I've been itching for another motorcycle just because I'd like to build one. I want something as the project. I really loved building motorcycles. We did it for a lot of years. We owned a motorcycle shop. My first Harley was a custom. It was a wrecked night train that just bought a new chassis for it and wheels and all that kind of stuff and put it together with the wrecked drivetrain. But building bikes, just like building RC cars, like the build was the part that I liked the most. And I have a broader skill set now than I did at that age. Like at that age, I didn't know shit. So now I feel like I could do such better work. So, you know, I don't even know that, like, I'd like to get some sort of, like, not vintage, but an older type vintage bike and do something. But who knows? Harley's the Honda Civic of motorcycles. World as far as the ability to mod. That I get. Okay. Second channel? No. No second channel. It would just be, if I did it, I would still just put it on here. Where's Beat the Creek? I think it's in Ohio. Don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's in like Ohio or something like that. Twisted Skull Works RC. Thank you, sir. Do you still use your A6400 with 16 millimeter for your main streaming camera? How far is it from you? I do. That's what is being used right now. Without like moving here from my chair, I can touch the lens. So this desk, like, and that's, so I have two positions for this camera. One, it sits right at the edge of this desk. It's about 29 inches from me. But when I'm filming with more of the desk in view, it sits about 44 inches from me, roughly. So those are the two settings where I have this camera. You know, whether you see the bench or you don't see it. Oh, I did miss one as well. Elwood Armstrong. Thank you. If you had a question, drop it in there. Thanks for popping in. Gunner Nissen, thank you, sir. I might sponsor a crawl comp series. Ooh, that would be fun. That. Finish. After gate 5, you have to eat a piece of Armageddon, and then you can continue on with the second 5 gates. Beat the Creeks in Kentucky. Oh, I was way off. I kind of swore it was like, call it Beat My Meat. Oh my God. Josh, the camera views on the paint video were really good. Oh, did you guys, the orange Crocs in there I thought were perfectly fitting. That whole painting video was just shot with my GoPro. But I had it in the media mod with the battery handle. WPL D12 build off. I've tried to talk Matt into something like that. I tell you what, there is no vehicle that has seemed to interest Matt less than that D12. My fascination for that has not been shared by Matt. Yeah. Let's see. Nissan, get a meat stick vinyl for your winch stick. That was the other thing. I think that if I did it locally, I think I would do no winch. Just to keep it, you know, easy. And not necessarily for me, because I think that I would rather have winching just for the good practice and all that. But I think that it would be best without. You know, just to try and, because it's a local comp scene, people aren't going to be as serious. So I think I would do the super relaxed rule set style. I think I would say that the truck has to be class 2 legal. It doesn't have to have additional scale points, but it has to be class 2 legal, meaning the body has to be class 2 legal, has to have the bumpers, and that type of thing. So Tennessee, USA now, but from, oh, I got you as far as where it's from. And so, yeah, I think that's you did a good job painting. I'm going to do my Phoenix patina now. Dude, trust me, I have said it a million times. I am trash at painting, and that turned out way better than I expected. I'm not saying that it's a top level patinaed paint job. If I paid $250 for it, I wouldn't be as stoked. But it's I'm more than happy with it, is for what it did. do winching, but it has to be off nature and has to hold the truck without the driver's hand. DK, that's a good point, and I don't mind that at all. The whole winch stick thing, I don't really mind. Like, I get it. I don't really mind it. If anything, I would want to allow winch sticks just so I could build myself like a badass carbon fiber one. I have a hammer ray on the way. What would be the best upgrades to do first? I don't know. I do not have one yet. I think I have one on the way, but I don't know really yet. I'll know later, maybe. So would Vanquish ever consider a 6x6? I don't know. Probably not. That's a pretty interesting market. Like, I don't know that market is big enough for a small company to invest that much into doing. My 350 hub bag is getting low. You guys remember when we started this, doing the live streams, and this bag was full? It's not full anymore. Don't worry, I have a much larger bag that is full at the office still. For those of you that don't remember or don't know, you're new here maybe. These were hubs that were blems. They were, the tolerance on the outside of this bore was slightly off. So there were ones that we didn't feel comfortable selling. Like, they work still and they're fine, but if a customer got them, I'd feel bad. So, how much money for that bag? Couldn't sell it. Couldn't do it. Any plans on doing a toolbox video? Oh, that's a great reminder. So, yes, there is, because I need to do that. And video series scheduling. I have a document. Toolbox tour update. Corrected that to your tour. Toolbox tour. Great. That was a good suggestion. Need to update that anyway. Quick, name the biggest tool in that room. I refuse. I'm trying to think if there's actually anything larger than me in this room, and I don't think there is. What? Did Matt just pop in here? Hey, Matt says, hey, good balls. That's weird. So, yeah. You are the biggest tools. Goodbye. Reporting Matt to HR. Exactly. Like, geez. Good balls, bad balls. Did we miss something? No. Yeah. Is there an easy way to turn the Capra into a Class 2 rig? No. No, there's not. The Capra is just not a good... I've seen people run Capras in Class 2. I will say that. But I do not think that that would be the right way to go. Good balls. You know, good balls. The reminds me of Good Burger. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Those of you 90s kids may remember. God, what was that? Matt and I were on a live call after the show Wednesday, and we were talking about how we were going to format the build off. And I was like, yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do our intro, we'll do the live footage that we record, and then we'll do we'll go to the pre-recorded stuff. And you guys may remember the Bush's Baked Beans commercials. And there was a saying that they would say, roll that beautiful bean footage. I think that's how it went. I think it was roll that beautiful bean footage. And I couldn't remember exactly the saying. And what I said to Matt, like, yeah, and then we'll just, like roll that juicy beef footage. And I was like, wait, that's not how that went. Like I was thinking it was like, is that an Arby's commercial? I couldn't remember that it was Bush's Baked Beans. I just remembered it was something like that. And I was like, juicy beef footage? Like, I think that doesn't seem correct. Maybe that wasn't right. And then I finally remembered that it was beautiful bean footage. Matt was very, very confused. So, you win some, you lose. Arby's is we got the meats now, but that was like we've gone through lots of different versions of slogans over years for different companies. roll that beautiful bean footage. Exactly. So, yeah. Where's the beef? Beef. It's what's for dinner. Lots of beef related. Who is the we've got the meat, or who was that one? I don't know. It's shake and bake, and I helped. No, Arby's is you're going to get the meat sweats or food poisoning, like Nicole. Nicole likes Arby's, and for some reason she likes Arby's specifically when we're road tripping. So we'll be driving, and she's like, "Let's get Arby's," and I'm just like, "No," and we do. And we'd stop and get it anytime that she asks. Of course, because I'm amazing and supportive emotionally, But, like, one of the last times, she got straight up food poisoning. Granted, when we stop, it's always at the Arby's / truck stop Arby's version. And I don't think that those are always the best. I don't know that they're always the worst. I think it's debatable. But I feel so dumb. I only just recently learned Arby's is phonics for RB, as in roast beef. I never put that together either. Huh. That didn't even... I mean... You said you felt dumb. Now Scale News is brought to you by Bush's Baked Beans. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Oh man, RB. It makes so much sense. That sounds... I don't know. Is that made up? I don't know. Arby's is actually phonics for grab your shorts. It was Arby's? Are you kidding me that they renamed it? It used to just be the letter R, the letter B. What? Mind-blowing information. See? It's a blessing and a curse, these live streams. I learned so much. RB is the initial of the founders. Is that true? If so, I wonder, was he like, what am I going to make? I want to start a restaurant. I thought Arby's was someone's last name. That's what I would have guessed. It stands for Raffi Brothers, the founders Arby's. Okay. See, I believe that. Either way, it's a coincidence that I was totally unaware of, and you would have thought that they would have, like, it's a marketing opportunity. My brother grabbed his pants, waited in the bathroom at an Arby's, and had to run in the women's room to clean. You know, things happen. Pretty sure I told my truck stop story not too long ago at the end of one of the streams. Yeah, when we were talking about the lumberyard in Des Moines, Iowa. Jeremiah Salberg, thank you, sir. Hey, Josh, just finished a patina paint job. Also went to a hobby shop I've never been to and have lots of Tamiya kits. Well, hopefully the paint job turned out well. I had seen your photo mid paint job. Which wheels are you building today? I'm not totally showing. There, you know, you'll see glimpses here and there, but I'm just building wheels just to build. No reason in particular. Horsey sauce is amazing. Horsey sauce is absolutely one of the top 5 best fast food sauces ever made. The Horsey sauce is like, honestly, Arby's sauce is real close to Horsey sauce. Just under. Mix Arby and Horsey sauce together. Fire. But Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce, or whatever they call it, Chick-fil-A sauce, whatever, also very good. Lies. Honey to do. McDonald's nuggets. Honey to do. What? Honey mustard? Is that what you're trying to say? Use your words. What is Horsey sauce? Yep, mixed is the only way. List your top 5 sauces. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just put Arby's Horsey sauce number 1. Number 2 could be Arby's sauce. I'm just gonna say. Number 3. This is a tough one. I'm thinking number 3 is McDonald's spicy mustard, because theirs is pretty good. 4, Chick-fil-A, the Polynesian sauce, or whatever you want to call it. Number 5. Did I put Arby's sauce at number 2? Because I think I did, which is probably correct. Man, 5th one. I think, that last one, it's a tough spot to take. I think that I'm going to say, I mean, I could go, the problem is number 5 is probably the spicy dipping sauce from a little restaurant in Kansas City called Go Chicken Go, which that's going to be a real local option. It's hard to say. Popeye's Sweet Heat, not bad. BK's Zesty Sauce number 2. What? The Sriracha's good, but that's everywhere. That's not a fast food sauce. Cane's sauce is up there too. I have only had Cane's a few times ever. That was mainly in the South. They've started popping up out here. But like I had it a few times and I was like, it's okay. No ketchup. Ketchup's good, but it doesn't hold a candle to Horsey sauce. I'm just saying. Ketchup is good. Yeah, fries and things like that. Ketchup is a solid like number 3 or 4 option if you don't have something better. Barbecue sauce is superior to ketchup on fries. I knew you were going to bring up gizzards. Midwesterners unite. Goddamn right. Just saying. If you don't like gizzards, like just Thousand Island, Brad, that's God. This is the secret sauce, Thousand Island. Just saying. Ranch? Oh my God. What part of the Midwest are you from, Matthew Romero? Because I know you got to be Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, maybe. We need to hear exactly where Matthew Romero is from right now. I want to see blue cheese dressing. I like blue cheese dressing, but let's not get ridiculous. Matthew, New Mexico? What? I mean, and ranch was your go-to? Ranch is life, Adam. I know where you're from, Adam. Gizzards are horrible. That is ridiculous. Gizzards are freaking fantastic. Jack in the Box taco sauce. I've never had Jack in the Box taco sauce. I do like the sweet and sour from Jack in the Box. Good sauce from Jack in the Box. What? Oh my God. Ban Buck, exactly. If you're not on the Gizzards, O'Charlie's. I've never even heard of O'Charlie's. This has got to be just a great way to just absolutely drop people off of a live stream that's roughly RC related. I'm just saying. You can't ban the Buck Dandy. Buck Dandy for president. Gizzards are great. Livers, not so good. I won't eat livers. I totally agree. When I go to Go Chicken Go, it is half order of gizzards. That's it. Freddy's fry sauce. I've never eaten at a Freddy's either. I believe one of my go-to YouTubers owns some Freddy's. I don't know if you guys follow many of the automotive channels, but Hoovie's Garage is one of my favorites. Arby's 3 pepper sauce. Never had it either. Now, I don't know if this is again kind of a regional choice, but if you guys have ever heard of a runza is common in Nebraska. It dipped down into Kansas for a little bit, but I don't think it really stuck. But runza is amazing, and they've got a like French onion dip kind of sauce for their onion rings. But you can order frings, and they will mix fries and onion rings, and then you get that sauce, and oh, it's so good. I think they just call it runza sauce. I've never been to a Whataburger, actually. Never had one. I've seen them when in Texas, but I've never eaten there. I feel like I need to do that when I go visit my brother in Austin next. In Kansas, they're called the correct name of Birox. Runza is a brand name. Yes, but Runza is the fast food name. I know, yes, I believe it's a German food, right? Called Birox or something like that. Something with a in there since it's German. What a burger is garbage. Do you miss Taco John's? Ah, man. Taco John's was pretty good. Some potato olays. You go to Taco John's and get yourself a 6-pack and a pound. That was a thing I remember back when I was like growing up. You'd go and you could get a 6-pack of tacos and a pound of potato olays. Oh man. This stream has already gone way. Start talking about food though. It's all it takes. Five Guys burgers are killer. Five Guys is probably, I don't know that there's a place that I like better for burgers as far as like fast food. I think that Five Guys is the best burger in fast food. Fight me, bro. What about Kiki's fries from Kiki's? I love Kiki's. The Kiki's fries are a little much for me. Like with the, when you actually order Kiki fries with like all the sauce and meat on them. I like just their regular fries with that seasoning they put on them. those are fantastic. I apologize for the burp. Five Guys is bankrupt? What? What? I was unaware. We got a place called That One Place, and they have a great barbecue bacon burger with onions. Where do you want to go? Let's go to that one place. Josh, all this fast food talk is killing me. I can feel my arteries hardening as I read the chat. I know. It's terrible. Oh, Five Guys makes you bankrupt. What? Man. The one thing, I don't know how Five Guys stayed in business with the amount of fries they put into a small order of fries. It's like, yeah, like a small order of fries is, they'll show you a cup, like a regular, like a small drink cup. Like that's a small order. Like, okay, cool, I'll have that. And then they like take that cup and then they fill a bag with fries and then they just put that cup in there. Like, here you go. Like I don't want that many French fries. Like, why did you show me the cup if you're just going to fill a bag anyway? It's ridiculous. No RC questions, please. I better order at least one. Recommendations for a Class 2 body for my first Class 2 build. Honestly, you got two options right now. Well, I mean, honestly, the Class 2, if you were at Scale Nats, lad, the hard bodies are, you know, if you want to be like Class 2, you know, fully pointed and everything, hard bodies are pretty common. It seems like most of the rigs in Class 2 that were at the top were hard body. But, you know, for like a normal build thing like that, Cliffhanger is hard to beat, but I do still love me a Power Wagon. These videos are why you get so many fries from Five Guys. There are videos on why you get so many fries from Five Guys. Is there really? There's like reasoning behind it? How much cheese can a hard body hold? Red Robin Royal Burger. If I'm going to Red Robin, I'll get, what's the one I get there? Hawaiian burger. Big old piece of pineapple and some teriyaki on it. Will a Fusion motor fit in the Pro? Yes, if. You can fit it. I do have a Fusion in at least one truck right now. You need to take off the little red cap on the back side of the motor. And then, like, sometimes you have to shave just like a hair bit of plastic on the one side of the trans where the end bell sits. But, like, it's not a big deal. It's pretty easy. So, yeah. Okay, RC question. Has anybody... it went away. I have a traffic question. On some parts of a highway, there are lines cut into the road crossways. Are you talking about the white line that's maybe like 4 feet wide and 2 feet, or 4 feet like deep and then 4 feet wide? If so, those are usually done for measuring speed by air. They're put at intervals and someone can time a vehicle from the air and give you a ticket from the sky. If those are the lines you're talking about. Red Robin, yum. Squints Palladorus. Thank you, sir. Oh my god, hey. You just threw a scale screw away, by the way. I did? That's okay. You get an extra one per bag anyway. Did I really? You're right. Nice eye. Those are the blind. Oh, you're talking about, well, if you're talking about the ones that are along the side edge of the road, those are, yeah, the rumble strips. And those are obviously those are actually called, edge, detectable edge lines, something like that. Traffic question about business 80/50. What do the solid white lines mean on the freeway? What? Just like when you have a section. So a solid white line, I don't know exactly the area you're talking about. Solid white line means shouldn't cross. You can cross it, but you shouldn't. It's not illegal to. Now, a solid double white line is illegal to cross. So there you go. What are your thoughts on plastic versus metal spur gears? I used to run a lot more metal spur gears. Anymore, I don't really. They're loud. They eat up pinion gears. You have to run a hardened pinion gear for sure. And unless it's something where like I need to be 100% certain that I am not going to have a failure point. So I would used to run them in like, if I was doing a TTC build, like a competitive TTC, which we used to have, then that's a case where I would run a spur gear, a metal spur gear, because I want to make damn sure that my spur gear doesn't strip, and I'm pretty damn sure that the rest of my drivetrain is just as bulletproof. So that is when I would run them. Beyond that, not something I would normally run. Yeah. Crawlmaster Super 550, probably Sport 550 you mean? 12 turn, good motor for crawling Folsom and class 2 stuff. Just worried about wheel speed. Crawlmaster 12 turn, that's a good amount of speed out of that. Yeah, it's pretty good. A 550 really isn't all that needed, so you've got a lot of extra motor there for that you're carrying around, but it's still fine. So, any night customs bit going on your base camp? So I've got all the files that could possibly work. Whether or not I get to printing them, depending on the amount of time I have, is a question. It's a possibility, though. Hello from Iowa. Hope I can still say that to you. I like Iowa. Many of my fondest childhood moments were from Iowa. We spent almost all of our summers in Okoboji, which, if you've never been there, is a wonderful time. Northwest Iowa. I did. Cliffhanger body on VS410. Does it sit into the VS410 Pro rock slider slots? Probably not. But the Pro has the generic sliders that are included as well, which it should fit into those, I believe. Or much closer, at least. Can we see the wheels you're building? Not currently. You will see them in the build off. Maybe that's what I'm building these for. Maybe it's not. Josh, do you have a plan for cheating in a 24-hour build? There's no real ride the legend coaster. What? The legend? Was it called the legend? I don't remember. Moving to Ames, Iowa in a month. Ooh, are you going to college there? Or what are you moving to Ames for? Wait, did you just admit to cheating? No. I'm just saying, like, there's not really a way to, like, 24 hours is 24 hours. I haven't like pre-built things really. Like, maybe some wheels are being, I might not use them for that. I might be using something else. So I don't know what these are for. They're just wheels. I have lots of other sets of wheels here. I got wheels right there. There's probably some wheels over here. It could be for anything. Just saying. So, Buck Dandy, thank you, sir. So since you know so much about traffic stuff, have you ever argued with a cop over the lines on the road? Buck Dandy for president. Have I ever argued with a cop over the lines on the road? I mean, I not directly, but indirectly, in a deposition. So, was being used as a, I don't know, like, I guess I was being used as an expert witness, not witness. Whatever you would call, like, you call somebody in to be anyway. So, it was in a case that was more serious, and but the initial reason the person was pulled over was because of some like infraction that had to do with, a traffic law that the police were incorrect in their interpretation of. So I argued with them in that way. But yeah, you're a Boji person? I didn't know we were in the presence of royalty. We were East Lake Okoboji people, okay? So we weren't West Lake Okoboji people. There's a difference. A consultant. That might be it. Rob Montana. Thank you, sir. Still snowing in Montana. Do you recommend the TRX4 Tri? That's exactly what you need. Some tracks with all that brass. You're just gonna float. I've noticed you like your coffee drinks. Have you tried a cappuccino blast from Dairy Queen? Fire. Robbie, do they have Dairy Queens here? Is there Dairy Queen in California? I didn't even know that we had that. Have you ever been to jail? Nope, I have never been to jail. That is not something on my list of accomplishments. Josh, I need to set a 2.2 beadlock rings, but they're out of stock on the VP site. Are these obsolete parts? No, 2.2s are still something that we hope to bring back. I don't have a date when that will or won't happen, but it's definitely something. Lawyer, we need someone who knows all about traffic lines and laws. Other lawyer. Oh, I know a guy. I think that it was one of those things. It was like, for some reason why were we? Oh, the particular area was still technically under construction. It was done, but it was still technically, hadn't been released from the construction. Like, once construction begins on a roadway, if it's done by a private firm, then they take a bond out, they start construction, and until it's been signed off and completed on, they still have a certain amount of liability for that area. So this happened in that area where they still had liability. Therefore, they went and they were asking the construction people, they're like, well, we didn't do these plans. These plans were done by this firm. And then that firm was my firm, and I was the one who worked on that project, both in the traffic control, construction phasing plans and the design of the actual traffic control items. So I was the one that they were like, you go waste a day or two in a courthouse. So, yeah, there you go. Do you want to go to jail? I got this idea. Jeremiah Salberg, thank you, sir. Sent you pics on Instagram. Be kind. I'll check them out. So it was your fault. That was the good thing on that one. I was not... There was no fault that could or would possibly land on us. Because I had been in some that even the fact, like, that we were even found at fault was wild. Could not believe that it was something that the fault was being put onto us for. And it's one of those things, like, we paid it, like a lot of money, like couple $1,000,000 or something like that. But it was, I mean, it was a sad story. It's like a motorcyclist who was intoxicated and going too fast on a ramp with someone else's like preteen child on the back and got in an accident, and the child didn't make it. It's a bad deal. It was in Kansas City, like in the Paseo, on the Paseo Bridge. But they like were like, well, this sign was unclear. Like the sight line of this sign was poor, and that was the fault. And it wasn't even my project. But I remember during it, I was riding my motorcycle, and like they wanted to like test whatever. So I just put my GoPro on my motorcycle and went and rode the drive for a few times, and we could use that. Yeah. So it was terrible. And one of those things, like, I didn't have that much involvement in it, but it was just awful. Everyone, I mean, you deal with traffic stuff, like, that's a thing. Terrible. Inverse speed bump equals pothole. I was on my Hayabusa, and I had my girlfriend at the time on the back, and we were going through coincidentally, through that same project, that Paseo Bridge replacement project, whatever, and went through and hit a nasty bump and tacoed the front wheel on my Hayabusa. Just bent the lip all the way back, and was able to make it far enough to get off on the ramp before my tire went all the way down. And so, being a traffic nerd and knowing the project, I was like, oh, I know that the construction company is Clarkson. They were the construction company at the time. I was like, so when I got home that night, I filed a report with MoDOT, Missouri. Then they were like, well, it's under their control. I said, okay. Sent them. Drew up a document saying, oh, here's the time, here's it, here's my filed with MoDOT, here's where it was at, it's within your construction limits, here's what happened to my motorcycle, and had diagrams and a map and the whole deal, photo. Wrote me a check. That is something I do enjoy. It's like, oh, here's you're at fault. Wrote up a very professional looking note or document. Pay up. Every once in a while, something happens like that. I've hit a deer while on my bike, also a turtle. Huh. There's a dip in the highway here in Salt Lake. There's been there for years, and if you have a lower vehicle or motorcycle, you regularly bottom out. Friend snapped his frame on his car? What? I mean, you're in Salt Lake. There's possibly a chance that there was some rust involved. A motorcycle wheel will keep form even when flat at speed. Don't ask how I know. I was on my Harley at the time, and I tapped the rear legs of a doe. It jumped right out in front of me, and I had my boot like locked behind the front brake or the rear brake lever, just because like my forward controls were a little bit too forward, so it was kind of uncomfortable. So I just kind of locked my foot behind it, which is a bad move, obviously. But it jumped out, and I was all front brake, and it jumped, and then it went with me, and it was just kind of doing this, and I slowed, and I just went bink, and it just kind of like stumbled and then ran away. I was like, ooh. That's one thing out in California, like that. Those of us from a lot of the U.S., like when you're driving at night, you're just a constant scan for wildlife trying to destroy your vehicle. That's not a thing here at all. If you're from the Midwest, you can just be driving like deer. Like you can just see them out of nowhere. Out here, people do not have that ability at all. Sean and Katie Thomas, thank you, sir. So going to do my first weathering project after watching your video and also watching Moose Jaw's video, picked up your favorite body of all time, the Lloyd. Couldn't make it any worse looking. Moose Jaw brought over his Lloyd on Sunday, and he came over and he built a front grill guard for his Lloyd. I just walked him through it, just kind of got everything set while I told him how to do it. I didn't do anything for him, just let him go after I knocked it out of the park. I hit a peacock once. The woman came out screaming at me. I said, sorry, you should cap it out of the street. That's an interesting peacock. I've got a photo on my Facebook of we were coming back from Indianapolis, and it was me and Jerry Justice from the DMG, if you're familiar, and Paul Davis from back in KC, and we were driving back from Indianapolis. I don't remember what comp it was, Midwest, might have been the Midwest Challenge, and we hit a Falcon in the front. It just came down. It was like going to swoop the road, and the grill of my Jeep just ate it. Just whack. And we pulled over, pulled that Falcon out of the grill. Wild. Didn't know peacocks were legal as pets. We've got peacocks out here that like roam neighborhoods. People just, I don't know where they came from or why they're there, but they just roam neighborhoods. We also have wild turkeys that just walk the streets of our neighborhood as well. Just like, what? And they're not afraid of anything. They will cross 6-lane roads out here in California, just like they own it. And traffic will absolutely stop. Nicole, not so much. She hates turkeys with a passion. And if she even barely slows, I would be surprised. I think she swerves at them. Tox crawlers. What's going on, sir? Thanks for joining. You should weather a gozer body next. I don't hate the gozer body. And it's so bad in a good way. Like, I like it. That's just turkeys in general. Turkeys aren't nearly that brazen in the Midwest. Like, they're a little bit... Peacocks are the devil. So I've heard. But I did hit I took some sort of crow or blackbird to the face in my Hayabusa once at like around 100 miles an hour. It busted the whole side of my, the visor mechanism, just blew the whole side of the helmet out. I'm like, okay. It was a real loud ride to work the rest of that, or I think I was going to school, college. Yeah. Turkeys here in Tennessee also don't give a fuck. Really? I thought like where we hunted them, they were a little bit more like get out of the way. Maybe they need to be a little bit more. Jesus. Hit a raccoon with my R6 I had. Ooh. Well, slid the back wheel, got sideways. Good time. Hey, you keep it on 2. You're still in good shape. That's pretty... do you have, I think is what you meant, not hate. Do you have a favorite trail line from the last Axial Fest at Donner? Want to name one of our trails, Crawl for Hope? I don't know. I probably do, but man, I don't remember. It's hard to, there's so much good terrain up there. It just keeps going. There's so much, like you just drive for hours up there. Is there like a really loud trail? Newsflash, Vanquish offers a new kit featuring the Lloyd body. The reason that we would never do that, Brian, isn't just because of how absolutely ugly that body is, but also because of the sheer size of it. That is one of the biggest, the body is massive. The shipping box would have to be huge. Huge, I say. These are things that I never thought I would, like, things I never even considered. Like, well, you know, depending on the size of the body, depends on the shipping box, depends on how many you can fit into the other shipping box, and then how many can go in a container, and how many like where I was just like, okay, well, make sure that also the dimensions don't add up to UPS classification of a large package, because then pricing to deal or shipping to dealers goes way up. Pretty crazy. So many little things I never thought I would think about. I hit a dead cow in an old Mercedes. The car flew and didn't have a scratch. I've hit an owl before, just like straight up on the windshield, just covered like basically windshield tip to tip. Wild. Josh, you ever look into the BMW S1000 RR? Wife said I need to upgrade my current bike. I've been looking. Man, the S1, just the R. S1000 R. I did look at them maybe closer to 2010, 11 range. And it was kind of wild, just the tech that they had in them at the time. That's why it was so interesting. You know, analog brakes and all that kind of stuff was pretty wild cool. I'm sure things have advanced even further since then. What's the Kawasaki, the turbocharged Kawasaki? It's like the so whatever one that, the H1R, something like that. Which one is it? That one looks pretty wild. H2R. Yes. That's the one I'm like, ooh. If I was going to do something real dumb, that's the move. Perry G. Deer and turkey all over up here. I hit a deer day before yesterday. Have to keep your head on a swivel every spring. That's the thing. Like back home, it's all the time. Every night, any time of year. No matter what. Tonight's live stream is this one time at band camp, pretty much. The H2 is overrated. That's interesting. It's very interesting. It just looked wild. That's one of those things. Okay, so I built some wheels. No reason why. Just because I was thinking about it. Like, why not? Then I don't have a ton else I can do tonight. I mean, mainly not partially because I don't want to. I don't want the what I'm gonna do. Get away from that. I don't want to build some of the other stuff I have. Finish the kit. Oh, you're talking about the TWS? Absolutely not. Never gonna happen. Won't touch it again. For sure. that thing was the most frustrating piece of just. Can we see the Ripper? Nah, it's not in this room. Build the moon buggy. I don't have the axles for it. It's not. If I had the parts here, plans for the TWS chassis. I think I'm gonna send it to Alex. He's who ends up with the things that I hate the most somehow. I'm keeping the body and the wheels and tires, even the body pieces, and then the rest of that stuff is I just sent it away. Set up a local SCX6 comp. Oh, that would be kind of fun. It would be fun. TWS or Capo? Oh, that's interesting. They suck for two completely different reasons. I mean, the Capo stuff, like, I don't think that they ever built it. I think they just put it together, or they like designed it in CAD and made it, and then it just. Drunk build off with Matt. Oof. It's hard to measure. And you'd be like, how many shots are you in? Smart car plus Hayabusa motor equals tires. I wouldn't mind a smart car. Not with a Hayabusa motor. Not even. But I think there's a number of things I could do with a smart car that would be fun. I'd like to safari out a smart car. Dale C, how much money am I bringing down for the toy Boda? That is, I do need to get that in a state that it is ready to go. That is definitely on the must get completed list. Smart cars are oxymorons. What do you hate about it, TWS? Everything. Everything about the construction, the design method, the what you're getting for $280 is so not worth it. I'll be right back as I grab something. Oof. Grab my purse. Okay. There's that. Did anyone see orange Crocs? No, not wearing them. Are those jorts? No, they're just blue shorts. They're not. They're not denim. Any 1/10 toy boat motors? I tried buying them. I ordered one, and it like was supposed to be. God, I can't stop. Like, it was supposed to come, and then it finally got canceled, and I was like, fine. Orange and blue Boise fan? No, just happened to have an orange shirt on today, and I've been wearing blue shorts. I need a WPL and a Camtech. Everybody needs both of those things. You should definitely own one of each. It's like $200 total. It's not flattering. It's not a good start. Um, let's see. But it's a little RC truck these days. It's affordable comparably. I mean, not really. Like, yeah, you can like it's 249 is the low end of RTRs. I mean, off the low end of RTRs, but like as far as kits go, you can get a lot more for your money. Did you see Side by Side blog rolled their? I did see that their big wedge trailer, you know, like the big Hot Shots trailers, full of like 6 or so side by sides, and it tipped over. Rowdy. Do you read all the comments, or only the people you see on your chat all the time? No, I just pick whatever I see rolling through, and just reading all of them is too difficult. So I just whatever just pops up, I see and go. Hemistorm BC body looked all. Oh, did Hemistorm paint up a base camp? I haven't seen that yet. I'm just gonna pull that up. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want the audio to come through. But why is it not popped up on my subscriptions? Sometimes it's like not even near the top. That's bizarre. I don't think I've ever missed a Hemistorm video. This is why. Oh, there it is. It's like 2/3 of the way down. Oh, look at that, all swoopy and stuff. It does actually. That does look good. Did he? He cleaned up the windows. I remember him doing that on the Red Cat. I was just like, damn, that looks like a lot of work. He cleared the windows and it looked good. Yeah, there's a possibility of that. He unopaqued the windows. Yeah. That's definitely. I see that on his thumbnail now, though. That it does look good. I'm not gonna watch it yet because I mean I could. I guess that's not really cheating. Why do you hate the Ford Ranger bodies? I mean, Ford Ranger. Fucking Ford Ranger. Son of a gun. It's a Ford Ranger. Un momento por favor. That doesn't help. What about that? Nope. We're going to do... How about that? Because I'm using nasal spray, and that is not a screenshot I need. Just cut the windows out, throw some plexi, call it good. That doesn't really work with bodies because they're not just one curve. It's like a little bit of two directions, and plexi doesn't really sit like that. So you either have to clear them or you have to cut them out. There's a couple of options. But on the base camp, would it be quicker to cut the windows out and replace them with clear? Oh, so that's what you're talking about. I don't think that it would be, I mean, quicker, sure, but I don't think it would be right. I don't think it would sit right or look that good. So it's nasal spray, sure, Amber. Oh, I saw those too. I'm not much for like celebrity goings on. I, in general, don't care. But I do like Johnny Depp as an actor. And so much of that trial was so interesting to watch in a certain way that I will say that I watched more clips of that than I thought I would have. I've got a good screenshot when my phone switched to Wi-Fi and you froze. Except for Britney Spears. Listen, Britney Spears is a treasure of our generation. And I still follow her, and I still feel like that is, you know. Just finished up my negative G TC V1 kit. Really nice, modified, simple, and simple swap over from the TRX4. I don't know what that negative G TC V1. I'm guessing some sort of chassis kit for it. I've not heard of it. I'll hit the like if he tells me who makes the FJ45. They're at, what's it? MST makes the J45C, which is basically an FJ45. Or there's the Vanquish Phoenix body, which is like a long or an extended cab FJ45-esque. So those are your two options. Let's see. Thoughts on the RC Speedy Jeep? So I had an RC Speedy chassis that I bought, and it was for the Capra, and it had major geometry issues. So for that reason, I didn't like it at all. I tried to contact him to come up with a solution, and there wasn't really a good one, which, you know, I guess I kind of get. But so that wasn't, I feel like I can't be certain that his products are going to be solid always. But I will say that the work, as far as the weld quality and the, you know, squareness of the chassis itself, was good. So if it's one of the ones that you've seen other people build, it's probably going to be nice and probably going to be solid. Do you still run your Honcho, or does it stay on the shelf? I don't own. If you're talking about like the budget build Honcho, it's been long sold. I do have another Honcho that I built on this live stream months ago that I've never built. I did a Northwest Scale Designs scattergun chassis on it. I've never ran it though, so there's that. hobby wing is... Oh, wait, sorry. That's a different question. I want to see you and Matt race the TRX6s. Well, his I would win because his TRX6 turned back into a trail truck, and then I believe that his TRX6 was sold. I don't know that he has it anymore. Lone Star RC guy, thank you, sir. Thanks for another entertaining stream. Favorite VP axle. Favorite VP axle. I would have to say the D44. That would be my favorite one. Yeah. I can't think of one that I like a little bit more. I want to build one for the guys at Fab Rats because he has an FJ45 full size and he takes wheel. I've heard people talk about Fab Rats a number of times, and I've never seen that channel. P.S. Lone Star RC guy, if you're still here, I set that tool holder you made for me at the office on our workbench there, and we all use it every day. I still see it every day. Again, thank you. Fab Rats. I like his show as well. Fab Rats YouTube channel. I don't want to hit play. Sorry. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to subscribe and then I will watch that later. Gotta love Fab Rats. Does he actually fab? Because that's what I want. That's what I like. If you guys have never watched Morgan Clark Design, that's a great fab channel. They do mainly pre-runner stuff, so it's not all 100% like relate, but like their fab and design work is so good that it's appealing. RC Patina guy, thanks for checking in. It's been a while since I gave some. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. So hopefully, make it to one of these events here one of these days. Yes, he fabs. That's good news. I put a Spectrum 2-in-1 in my Recluse chassis and had to move my trans forward and need help binding the receiver. Ooh. I'm not going to be able to help you there. I'm not a big Spectrum expert. Yeah. He's kind of a hack, but still fun. Well, that's, MCD is a metal artist. That's 100% true. And that's like one of my really good fabricators. It's so high on my list of just somebody I would love to have the ability of the TIG welding ability of some of these people is so freaking amazing. One of these, I've ordered my new TIG and it's delayed as far as delivery and all that. I don't know. I'm contemplating canceling, going with a different brand that's available right now, but costs twice as much. Going to be $2,000 in or so. I don't know. We'll see. The Fatter Dad. Thank you, sir. Have you seen any body post alignment issues in the Phoenix or I'm a Potato? I know exactly what it is. If you're having body post alignment issues, it is your rear bumper. Take the rear bumper. You think you have it all the way in. You don't. Take the screws out and push it in another ring. 100% guarantee that's what it is. I've done it myself. So take those 2 screws out of the bumper and give it a push, and you'll find that it goes one more click in, and then it will be, I guarantee that is it, and it will be perfect. What happened to Nicole making shirts? 100, that's on her, and it's a thing that I'm making her do when she gets back. There's a whole nother thing that I'm working on. It's not a great idea in like the responsibility realm of things, but that makes sense. I'm a potato. Do it. Check back in. I want to know that it 100% fixed it. What tick did I order? I ordered an AHP. And that's, yeah. So, you gotta love when Nicole leaves me actually getting custom stuff, kind of. What? Barn Finds just listed the 1977 AMC van concept car. It so needs to be a scale body. What? I'd have to see this. Josh, will the gold Vanquish hardware work on the Reef speed locks? I don't know what the Reef speed locks use for hardware. I don't know that. AHP is out of the San Francisco area. So, yeah. Just have bunker branding to your shirt. As far as the shirt, like, I don't want to do the fulfillment through somewhere else thing. Like, it takes a ton. So there's people here. I've got 2 people here that do them. Make it custom with a K is great for fab videos. Interesting. Let's search for that one right now real quick. All right, 165,000. Do you like hot rods in custom cars? If so, here's the YouTube channel for you. Let's see. Oh, wait, I know this guy. Oh, I follow him on Instagram, but he has a different name there. Jap Hands. I follow him on Instagram. He is an absolute wizard. He does oxyacetylene welding. That's pretty wild. He used to make. I used to watch him make motorcycle frames, I think. Ooh. Yeah, Japan. He is. I was like, I recognize the face. And so, what do you know? RS Group, Wheeling Out West is awesome. So yeah, let's see. Grabbed 19 Wraith recently. I think you'll love it. It's a great car. What about Bad Chad? Have you seen him? So Bad Chad, he had a Motor Trend on Demand show for a little bit. And like, if I remember right, Bad Chad, he was an absolute hack. Like, wild hack. Like, he got shit done and it looked pretty good in the end. But man, like, he was bending exhaust tubing by just smacking it on the ground. Like, like, Bad Chad makes cars out of coat hangers. Right. Which I applaud him for the effort, but it's not the type of thing I was looking for. Someone had asked up here, like, update on the 3D scanner. Let me tell you, so I am not someone who normally, like, if I pre-order something like that, like I know it's a pre-order, I put my order in and I just sit and I wait, and I'll even give the extra time. I'm not a emailer of like, hey, where's my order? I'm not that guy. So the company that I ordered the 3D scanner from is Creality, like the people that make the Ender printer. So it's not a no-name brand. It's called the CR Scan Lizard. The CR Scan is one they put out a couple of years ago or a year ago. And it was okay, but not fantastic. But the 3D Scan Lizard was their newest one, new hardware inside, a little bit more than just what everyone else was using. Great. It was supposed to ship, I was supposed to have it in like early April. And we're still not here. So I actually sent an email this week, maybe this week, being like, yo, what's the deal? Like, there's not even been an update. So, like, it's Creality. It should be it. So, I'm disappointed that I don't have it yet. So anyway, we shall see. Matt's Off-Road Recovery and Trailmater are awesome channels, and Flex Rocks and Rollovers. Flex Rocks and Rollovers, I know. Matt's Off-Road Recovery, like, you know, like the actual like recovery stuff, I'm like, it doesn't really interest me. Like, it's just not something that I've got into. Like, I love drag racing videos, and I'm way more into rock crawling than most things as far as builds and things like that go. But watching recoveries and stuff, I'm just like Diesel Brothers, you know, like I like them in some of their content, but like just watching the recovery stuff just isn't something that really gets me. You know, you mean it's not just a reskinned Xbox Connect? Well, that's the thing is like, and even the Xbox, I don't like, I think Microsoft was the one making the base, and it was just, everyone else was repackaging it in their own way. So yeah, like I didn't want to just buy one of those. So it's finally, I don't know. I was bummed because yeah, it was the first one that's like not just another. So we'll see. I hope that I get it because it wasn't cheap. I spent good money, and that money's been removed from my bank. I just don't have it yet. Let's see. Have you ever built an FPV crawler? I have. It's not that great. FPV in an on-road vehicle, not that good. Not something. I think I had the most fun FPV on a ground-based vehicle in a dancing rider because it has the lean, so it gave you a bit of that sensation. Beyond that, it's just not worth it. Like, not to me anyway. So yeah. What about Wrecked Gear? Never heard of them either. What's the best SLW size to run on F9 portals, trying to keep it competitive for Class 2? F9 portals. You're talking about Class 2 F9 portals? I'd probably run a 350 for most things. That's what I would do. Can you make a 70s pickup build? I don't know of a body. And beyond, I don't have enough desire to make a 70s pickup that I'm trying to. Watch B is for Build's last video. He just tried a scanner. I wonder which one he tried. I do watch B is for Build every once in a while. Because I do like Tavarish. B is for Build, and they just used... Oh, wait, not B. Oh, I'm not thinking of B is for Build. I'm thinking of Wrench Every Day. And you said it was in his latest video? Interesting. Last video, it's 5 hours ago. I'm going to mute that. I'm just going to try and scroll through it quickly to see if I can find what scanner. Oh, yep. So he's using the Rev Point. Yeah, the Pop 3 or whatever, which is basically like the same old hardware. So that was like one of my other options. It's a little bit cheaper. I just wanted a little bit better hardware. It drives me nuts. Eric Baker, what's going on? Thank you, sir. Josh, if I want to add lit LED rock lights to the Incision LED or the Incision light kit, which side should I solder them to? The headlights or the taillights? They are 3S capable. Problem with that, Eric, is that if they're 3S capable and they need to be so the Incision light kit, the resistors and everything are on the board. So the LEDs themselves don't have resistors. So that means that the voltage going from the light controller to the light is only like 3 volts for white. And then I think red takes 5 volts, if I'm remembering correctly. So the output from that light controller is just the regular 3 volts, meaning that if the lights you're trying to wire in are 12 volt capable, they're going to be very dim if they even come on. So that would be the problem. He said junk, don't bother. That's exactly why I didn't want that one. Yep. Such a pain. B is for Build did a better 3D scan using his iPhone with an app. Might be good for... So I've done that before too. but that's why I wanted I wanted something that had better definition than an iPhone, because basically they're not worth it. These Revo Point, sorry, and so many of the other ones that were the same thing, they just weren't worth it. That's why I wanted this new one that had better resolution, a little bit better software. If I've bought over 1,200 in Incision drive shafts for my rig, does it count as a donation? Absolutely. I mean, let's see. I have an Einscan SP. It's amazing, but turntable-based, super clean scan. Turntable-based is much easier to get good scans on for sure. But definitely looking for something that has a little bit more capability than a turntable one. A turntable is just one that won't work with me. There are resistors in line on them already. That's what I figured. So that the problem with that would be that you would either need to cut that, because you have an LED and you have a resistor and then you have the power inside. So it's expecting 12 volts to come in. That resistor knocks it down to 3 volts, then to the LED. So the resistors on the Incision one are already in that controller. So that means past that is only 3 volts. So that means you have another resistor in line. And if you stack resistors, it stacks the resistance. It means it's going to drop it even further. So you need to not have the resistor in line, if you know what I mean. So, and then beyond that, it depends on a few things. So, but probably you would want to put them on the headlight side, most likely, depending on the color. Never 3D printed before, and I'm really wanting to try it. Any first-timer pre-buyer advice? The best advice is just dive in and screw up, because 3D printing, like screwing up, is not that bad. Like there's some good beginner videos. A lot of the basic, like you can get a cheapo the go-to Ender 3. It's a basic cheapie. It's got decent enough print quality, and it's going to do 90% of everything you want. Then from there, you're going to spend 3 or 4 times more for the last 10% of quality. The Prusa is amazing, but it's $1,000 versus $250 or $300. So you can spend 4 times as much and get better print quality for sure. But is it worth 4 times the pay? If you just get an Ender, screw up, make spaghetti plastic for a minute, watch some of the starter videos, it's not that bad. There's things to learn, but it's pretty easy. It really is. But you're never going to get into it unless you just start. Just do it. Just get into it and start going. You'll learn about how important it is to get the bed nice and level. You'll learn all these things. Just don't worry about it. Just don't get overwhelmed. Just do what it says and be oh, that didn't work, and Google it, whatever. Get it and go. Man, it's worth it. Glass bottom, no. I do the PEI sheets now, so much better than glass. I've got a texture and a smooth. It's just so much easier, it's so much better. But yeah, it all just comes with time. Yeah. Just don't worry. There's a billion. It's just like getting into RC. There's a billion things. People are this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Just start and go. Figure some things out and be okay, yeah, I like this, I like that. Figuring out what it means. And you'll understand a lot of the things that people are talking about, oh, that doesn't really matter. Or it's yeah, I get it, but Just dive in. Be like Nike, just do it. Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. Just start printing random stuff. Go to my Thingiverse and print all that stuff. Random shit. I've got I got a bunch of files out there. You probably got 100 hours of print time on just that stuff. I'm telling you. scale welder. I've got one of those on there. So yeah. Einscan Pro 2X is a sick handheld scanner on the market, but pricey. Einscan SP was $2,600. I think the Pro 2X is like $6K, but will scan a whole car and can be accurate to the 1,000th. Yeah, you know, that was the thing. I'm like, I'm not trying to spend, you know, like you get a Peel 3D for $10K. I'm like, do I really need any of that? Like, the other problem is like 3D scans are only so useful because you're not actually able to use much of the geometry. You're just like using it as a reference and still designing around. So you only need it so accurate depending on what you're doing. So it's just like, you know, sell my class 1 yet? I didn't. I haven't pushed too hard. It's actually right there. I have not sold it yet though. Resin is not as good for functional parts, but they can certainly look better. Oh yeah. I haven't got to the resin printer yet. I thought about trying to get that done for the build off. Like maybe I could use it, have 2 printers going, especially like for certain things it'd be worth it. I just haven't done that. Possibly if there's enough time in the build off, I will. Or maybe I'll get it set up tomorrow before it gets started so that I can be ready to go. But it's like one of those things, do I want to be fumbling with that during the build off? It's hard to say. Do you use PLA or ABS for RC parts? I use PLA when I'm not critical of like it being super structural, or I'm not super worried about it being out in extreme heat. Beyond that, I use PETG. I never use ABS. Like ABS is not a material that I print with. Like I'm just not interested in ABS at all anymore. You know, I just like the, you know, the finickiness, the smell, stuff like that. It's just like, I don't need it. PETG's got a little bit of give, works well, it's super temperature stable. I try not to use printed parts in general for like, the like super structural things. Like I use them when I need to, when it's easy. But I always would like to have a part in there that's, you know, a better part, a machined part, you know, something like that, rather than something that's just 3D printed. 3D printing's great for the ease that it is. Beyond that, I think people overuse it way too much. So, you know, all personal preference, of course, right? I also don't like the way 3D printed parts look. So, like, looks okay. Looks 3D printed. If I can see that it looks 3D printed, I'm like, I'm a snob of the own parts I use sometimes. What is my phone doing? So, what do we got else? PLA Plus. PLA Plus I've used. I've got some of it here. It's nice. It's got a little bit of extra to it, but in general, I've still found that it's not that much better than the PLA. Honestly, the Prusament PLA is so good. I don't know if any of the PLA Pluses I've tried have been even as good as a PLA. So, you know, that's always, it's just so expensive to get that Prusament. Like, man, it's expensive. What else we got? It is almost 8 o'clock. What about ASA? I have printed ASA on a friend of mine's printer who's, he's got the Raise 3D printer, and it's an interesting filament. I haven't like done enough like using of it in our type of parts to determine if I'm really wanting to try to use it more, but it seems like it's going to be, you know, it seems like right now that there's about 10 options that are better than ABS. So that's the thing, like why I say like ABS I'm not interested in anymore. It's because like it seems like all these other options keep coming up. I'm like, okay, that's a plus. But What time do I usually go till 9 o'clock on these, don't I? We still got a good crowd in here. We're still going. So let's it's just I so badly. Have you tried printing your own anti-foams? I worked on printing some of them before before the anti-foams were actually out, because there was a guy putting out the videos on them. He was out of the UK, some months before that, and I was watching, and I kind of did it, but at the same time, man, I don't think that it's worth it. The print time that these things take, I'm just like, I don't know that I'm interested in waiting that long and having all that print time for those. I'd rather go with foams still. Let's squat the bay camp. Squatting it. I need to put this away because otherwise I'm going to start working on it. And that's against the rules. Killing me. What about ABBA? They've been around since the 70s. Do you still have a Woods Runner? I do. And it is high on my list. This is the one that I want to get back to work on soon. I had Moose Jaw do the patina paint job, and then I'm patinaing it myself with some extra dust that I'm just going to clear coat in. But I need to get to work on an interior and starting to build that out. And that's the number one thing, is the interior. So this is built on a VS410 Pro platform. So, and yeah, I need to get a front bumper done for it. And it's kind of one of my favorites. It's a VS410 Origin half cab body that's been narrowed about an inch down the center. You can see that cut, so it's been narrowed. And that's... The dust is so realistic. I thought you said you were bad at painting. Dale C, thank you, sir. Show and tell of of things your fans have sent you. I'm not going and getting the shirt, Dale. It's not happening. But I wonder how many things I could see. I'm leaving this up here just because I want to keep looking at it. Let's see. We've got the Mini Johnson motor. I'm not sure of the date of this. It said it was made in Japan. It was RC. The prop was on there. I actually don't know what's inside of this. What's the wheelbase option for the VS410 chassis kit? The chassis kit, it just depends on your actual links, really. But how do I get this cap off? Hey, the prop is in there. I didn't know that. Look at that little thing. Did he just say Johnson? Johnson. So I think that something was stripped or bad with this, which is why the prop is not on there. But my Mini Johnson. Oh, so you can see that this thing was shaft or flex shaft driven. This was some sort of disconnect for a contactor in there. Either way, pretty cool. Fondling his Johnson on camera. Demonetized. Okay. My Johnson came apart. Next, we have the matte signal. Matt 3D printed this, put the SVG logo in there, mirrored, so that it would properly put the logo up onto the wall. I think my batteries died. They did. I have a Q series light for this because it wasn't quite bright enough. So I was going to put... Oh, I have a missing battery. That's what happened. But that's the matte signal, which was quite funny. This is also one of my prized possessions. This is the Pardon My Noob dumpster. So, Turks and Jerps. Like, some people didn't know that this was Michael Scott from The Office, which is an important note. The little flyers are the wanted posters from The Office. It says, "This man is a pervert. If seen, contact Dwight Schrute." But it's actually like a photo of Dwight Schrute. And Josh is talking about King Missile detachable paint. I have heard King Missile. I thought that was Matt. No, it's not. It's Michael Scott. Like, let's see. This says Carol did it. It's a little bit of a time capsule of its own time. Jeep. Hope grows in a dump. Turks and Jerps by Pardon My Noob 2020. So, inside, what else? What do I have in here? I've got Axial Fest badges from 2021, 2016, an SBG patch, an ASD patch, Crawl for the Cure, 2017 Axial Fest. That's 2016. That's 2016. The Westmade business card. This is some foam. Do you guys remember what this foam was from? It's not just a bedroll. So you threw your Axial Fest badges in the dumpster, but it's a special dumpster. This foam in particular is special, and it was also from it specifically. Baskin, yes, Carol Baskin is the reference on the side. But we'll see if anybody remembers where that foam came from. There's a business card from Westmade when he made the dash for the Class 1. He wrote a note on the back, and that's in the dumpster as well. My first Ridge wallet is in there that I had lasered. It's just super worn out, but I kept it. Okay, go. So, best comp bumper for a Honcho. I'm at a loss for approach angle. That's from the late night scale points build. Yes, it is. It's technically from that. It wasn't from that late night. It was from when I was in Colorado, but that was the foam interior from the Class 2 build. Need to put my Johnson back together. It's the Seahorse 35. Seashell Seahorse. Seahorse Sea Captain. See how many knots tied you go to him. The Do It for Dale. This was the end cap to the diffuser on the TRX-6 during the monthly mayhem. This is what exploded off the end of it. This was the passenger side one. Where are any Copperhead ESCs used as? Were there any used at scale nats? I wonder. I don't know that. I don't know that. Dale C, thank you, sir. All right, those were cool, but the shirt is next. Dale, I'm giving that shirt to a homeless man so he can walk around with a shirt that says thick boy. Oh, there's the annoying orange that came from Moose Jaw. Let's see. That's the moon buggy, UC Fab moon buggy that I have to build up here soon. So nice. It rests on top of the dumpster for now, though. It is top of the dumpster material, which is a good thing, oddly enough. Um, there's so many things. Do it for DLC. What does the Woods Runner look like now? This? Are you talking about the other Woods Runner? Because if you're talking about that, it belongs to Ben, Scale Crawler Fab Shop. He's not in here tonight. But it looks mainly the same. He's done some repair on like the panhard mount needed some repair. He got that done. He did a good job on that. But beyond that, it looks mainly the same. Moon Buggy looks kind of like Tiny. A little tiny bit. Pun. But it's Jesse Haynes style. So Tiny was, you need to go back and look at Tiny. That thing was kind of butt ugly. But it was cool at the time, that's for sure. When is the carnivore gonna be started? You mean just like the finishing the hood? What gauge aluminum do you use for stamped panels? 0.02. Oh yeah, 0.025 aluminum. I don't know what gauge that is. I need to put new, or at least springs, shocks, whatever. But the carnivore is still pretty much good to go. It just needs some cleanup, finish up. I need to get the hood painted. Need to get that painted. There's some stuff I want to just clean up. The last time I really worked on this was probably like 2018. So it just needs some freshening up, really. Uh, that's a little bit of updating would serve it well, but it's still one of my favorite cars. Probably need to put the new shocks. I'll put the new SADs on it probably. I'll build them up with all the new scale parts. So, you sell that blue Jeep from Spain yet? No, I have not. It's orange now, but and the stuff is just sitting in there. But I have this is the one I'm talking about. It was one of those ones I was going to get around to working on and finishing, but I'm just not going to. I just don't have time. There's so many other things that I want to get to, and I'm like, I know I'm not going to get to it, so I'm just going to sell this one. So I put it up on my website, and that's the plan. It's just, I mean, it's a really nice. The chassis looks beautiful. He did a great job on that. And just all in all, it's a nice looking rig. I'm not gonna get time to work on it. So it's rather than just hang on to it for another year and a half, 2 years before I get to it. and then decide I'm not going to get to it and sell it, I was like, I'll just sell it now. Are those 2.2s? Yeah, that's 1.9s on 2.2 wheels. So the wheels are Cerakoted white on this. So that was what website? My website is harleydesigns.com. Sean and Katie Thomas, thank you. What happened to the Flex Seal truck? It is as well still here. It, however, now looks much more appropriate than when its life with me begun. So you can see the axles. Like from this distance, those axles look perfect. Like just perfect, right? Now, if you get up close, you can see that they're much smoother than they should be. Focus. Well, actually, they're not out of focus. They're just smooth. They're just blurry. But front and rear, you can see there is no anodizing left on them. They've been sandblasted smooth after I took all of the Flex Seal off of it. And then underneath, it looks, the body is still very interesting, very hacky interesting. But the electronics that were in this thing are solid. It's got an AX system and a 370 TBL. Like, it looks good. Beyond the fact that it started life after... So I got it cleaned up. It looks much more reasonable. I mean, I'm not saying that everything is perfect because I don't know how I could possibly make that claim. I remember the inside of this being like rusty, and somehow I had to fix that. That was... I need to go back and watch that stream, the Flex Seal stream, just to see. I remember being like, I just remember being like continuing to be surprised after surprised after surprised. Oh man. Dale C again, thank you, sir. Flex Seal is being sold to me and getting an outboard motor. Josh, how about a loaded fanny pack giveaway? It's been a minute on those. I don't have another fanny pack to give away. Let's see. Wait, I thought you didn't like the AX system. There is reasons I don't like the AX system, because I think it's neutered. It's way low on power in comparison, but it's still smooth. It's still a nice system. It's just not my preference. I do like a lot of the things that it offers. I just wish that it had the power. The Flex Seal stream had like 600 watchers. It was a beautiful disaster. I still love the racing swirl. Oh man, how much do you want for the Flex Seal truck? I don't know. It's one of those ones I've never been able to put a number on this truck. Like, I put new rolling stock on it, some new tires, and some work here and there. Like, I don't know. I haven't decided. So, oh man, this next week, I actually if you guys remember, Flip That Truck, that series. Next week, I'm going to plan on putting the first new episode of that out. And that one, so that's one of those series that I really personally enjoyed. It was just fun for me. I really liked it, and I think that it was still engaging enough that people enjoyed it enough for me to do it, even if I have to change. The biggest problem is that the thought that I had for it you know, to keep like start here and then just build up and keep going. That part of it is very difficult. It's, and you know, maybe that's part of the difficulty of, you know, any of those things, like making it to the end. But the like starting here and then finding something and then like working up to just a little, like it's very, you just RC, I don't know, maybe you guys have this same thing, but like, do you, like you shop in, like there's areas, like you can spend 300 to 500 and then all of a sudden, like, and that's like a range or quality of vehicle. But then you jump up, like there's not this like easy progression to find a decent, it's like you're this area or you're this area or you're this area. You can spend 300 to 500. You can spend, you know, or then all of a sudden you're at like twice that. You're at 600 to 1,000, you know, before you find the, and then from there you're at a 1,500 to 2,000. It's just like, you don't see this, you don't see, so it was very difficult. So what my plan is, and hopefully it's something that people end up being okay with, is I'm just going to find the cars I like or think that are good candidates, get them, clean them up, do whatever I think, and then turn them. So it's a bit more just flipping rather than having a progression, but I think that it'll be something more reasonable. And I have trucks that I bought that would fit into it. So we'll see if people like it. If they do, I'll continue the series. If not, it'll have to die. And that's just the way that it goes. But I buy a lot of RCs, like used RC trucks, scaled out or comp style, whatever. Like, that's the thing. Like I buy trucks all the time that are just whatever. I'm like, oh, that looks like either a good deal or a truck that I want to look at or have or play with for a little bit or whatever. They don't make it onto the channel, you know, because that's hard to do and just be like a random, like, here's a truck I bought. Look at it. Just look at it. Like, I didn't do anything to it or anything like that. It's a random build by someone, but like, just look at it. So never feels like those are like videos that I do. So I buy them. Sometimes if they're interesting enough, like this one, you guys end up seeing them, or I'll post them on Instagram. But beyond that, like, you know, random cars all over the place. Just like, yeah, this. What about that? So, but you know, that's the plan. So that I want to start that series back up, see if people are accepting of the new plan for it with just, this is the one I bought right now, this is what I'm going to do to it, and then sell it, and then buy the next one. And whether or not the dollars are, you know, they cancel each other out or not, it's a whole different thing. Show us some of your junk. Yeah, right. I bought my 76 Cutlass to flip. That was 4 years ago. That's the problem. I've got cars here that I easily bought over 2 years because I was just going to flip them and never did. Like, that is an issue. And I hope to just use this series as being like, this is what I bought. I was going to flip it whatever time. I never did. I'm going to get it cleaned up and sell it. And then hopefully recoup some of the money that I've bought. The Jeep looks like it would be fun to crawl. I think it would be. It's got Capra axles, so it's wider. I mean, it's a all steel chassis, so it's not light. But I think it would be a fun crawl. It does have dig in there. I put a Holmes 2700 kV stubby in there, and I cut a carbon fiber front battery plate and electronics mount to hold the Copperhead ESC. So I just want to go on record by saying I don't want to see Jalish. I like when I find a truck I totally forgot about. Oh yeah, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I'll trade you an Enduro slider for a set of VP wheels. No, that is one thing. I'm not interested in buying incomplete vehicles. Like, I like when they are complete trucks. That is, I've got enough projects. I can clean something up, do something, fix something, or improve something here or there. But, let me tell you, I take and buy good running trucks and then somehow turn them into useless sliders. Like, that's what I'm best at. Like, oh, I'm going to do this and work on this and change. I'll take some of this stuff off and I'll get back to that later. And then I never do. I'm like, that truck's worthless now. Would you want a Wraith with a slash 4x4 front end? Nope. Nope. That sounds like a worse Yeti. And I didn't like that either. If you sit on it by accident, is it worth more? Would I be able to buy a set of those 3D printed Capra panel makers? Maybe you're thinking of somebody else. Because I don't think that I ever did Capra panel stamps. Must have been somebody else. I did a video on how to make 3D printed stamp stuff, but I never made panels or anything like that for a Capra. How did you put 1.9 tires on 2.2 rims? They'll just go on. It's a bit of a fight, but you just get them in there and you push them in, and then you just gotta, it's not as hard as it. You can't do it the other way. As long as the tire is smaller, though, you can just force it and stretch it, and it fits fine. Would you like a Wraith with a transplanted VFD? Have you ever ran your brass TRX4? Nope, I have not. It still needs to be finished. Do you still have your Ultra? I do. It is right. Oh, it's right there. It's the green one. It doesn't have wheels on it right now. I had them off the other day, and I had them on the truck that I patinaed. I had those wheels on there because I have different clear and gold wheels on the on that truck that I didn't want to show. Can't tell you why though. They're not new wheels, but that's all you get. Cliffhanger cage thing. Oh, that's right. I do need to put that cliffhanger cage up. That is true. Giveaway truck update. I want to see it. That is to Toxic Crawlers was the winner of that. But that's a whole different thing. Did you run overdrive gearing in the VFD, your class 1 rig for nationals? Yes, I had 21% overdrive in the transmission. I had standard gears in the rear portals. So it's got overdrive front stock. It's got overdrive gears. They're just called the overdrive gear sets in the portals front and rear on the F10s. And then I took and put the standard ratio in the back. So that put me probably around like 40% overdrive in my class 1. About, roughly. I need a water real bad. Running out of voice. It is 8:30. This has nothing to do with tonight, but did you ever buy your wife her Mustang? No, no, I did not. We bought a Gladiator instead, and I drive the Gladiator, and she drives the other Jeep. She doesn't drive very much, though, so it's like, not a big deal. How about a Bastard Junior chassis with an ECX Temper V2 with 3D printed portals? Oh, my God. I was like, Bastard Junior, like, okay. And then you're like, and then it just went all downhill from there. ECX is like, Temper, and 3D printed portals, just crashing. Sean Katie Thomas, thank you, sir, or ma'am. I assume that you are either Sean or Katie. My family and I travel full time in our RV, and I have 11 rigs and still have 3 more I want. What sites do you use to buy your RCs? That's a good question, and something that's way more difficult now than it used to be. Hey, Nicole's checking in. She's at the Phoenix airport about to board. She's checking in because I'm probably not answering my text messages. I am. What do you know? You can all say hello to Nicole. The what was the what sites do I use to buy? So it used to be easier because it used to be like the forums were a little bit more centralized and you could kind of go there. But now it's like the forums are kind of dead for sale ads. So now the difficult thing is Facebook is the best place as far as volume. It is the worst place for organization though, because it is so, you have to be like, if the groups are private and they have for sale in those, you have to be a member to be able to find them. Searching is trash for used trucks. So it's really a lot of effort to like hunt down and find the ones for sale. I will tell you the secret I have for the best deals and best trucks that I have found. Like this truck. This truck was not for sale. I saw, thank you, have a good weekend. Go show Dale's shirt. No, I won't. I don't even know where it's at. I don't know what Nicole did with it. I think she was going to turn it into a t-shirt quilt, like she says with most of my stuff. This truck, for example, was not for sale. I saw it completed on Instagram and I messaged him and said, hey, you want to sell that? And that is how I bought it. He was just like, okay. And I said, how much? And he told me a number and we negotiated back and forth a little bit. And I hang in the closet. Which closet though? There's, this house is so big. It'd be so hard to find. We're not in a big house if you're wondering. So the best way is just try and buy someone's truck out from underneath them. Just offer someone money. Like, hey, I want your truck. How much do you want? Why isn't Nicole a mod? Because she doesn't want to. Just saying. Thanks, Nicole. Is this your 1000th truck? No, I can't imagine. Like 1,000 RC cars would be so many. How do you secure the front hood? That screw right there. So the front of the hood is protected by the bumper, but the rest of it is just done by that screw. And a very tight fit. There it goes. It's very tight around the shocks. So you can see. So it was a hard body. It's been narrowed. This is obviously because it's only got 4 slots. But there you go. Underneath that freaking seat. That's the carbon fiber tray I made. Got a direct power servo in it. Which one is this? NSD RS800 is the one that I have in there. But so yeah. That's a hard body. Yes, it is. Well, so the hood is a hard body. And then the side panels are metal. Roof is metal. So the color is dope. It is the color that I used to paint my Tamiya Semi. And that's what I had. How much for that Jeep without the electronics? I am not interested in tearing it apart. So it is sold like I have it. That is another thing. I'm also a very stubborn seller. Like, I am not interested in doing extra work How's the size of the ripper hood on that? Like not even remotely close. Like ridiculously not close. So that's a ripper hood. There you go. Not even like this hood would barely be a hood ornament. So when you say hard body, are you referring to an RC four-wheel drive part? Nope. This would have been a either a New Bright or what was the other one? I think this was a New Bright. Ripperhood is the guy she told you not to worry about. It could be like your studio. Massive in comparison. Leave the wheels on it, sell it to me. Buck Dandy. You can message me later. Nico, that's the other brand I was thinking of. Where's the Tamiya Semi? It is in the garage because it needs to go to LA. And I was hoping to go to LA this weekend, but that didn't happen. So it's still in the garage. Next time I get down to LA, though, I'm taking that whole thing. So just say it will cost more if you have to work on it. Exactly. Like if you want less, that's fine, but it's going to cost more because I have to work on it. So that is basically the go get it. Not a chance. That thing is ridiculously long and heavy, and it's up high on top of the shelves. But it's only Friday. You still have the weekend. Did you ever have a Fast Tracks? I did. The Fast Tracks was like one of my first, like, I remember like, I don't want to say like qualities RCs, but like, it was like my first, like, it was on the commercials and Fast Tracks, 9.6V turbo. Batteries charger not included. Where are you heading to in LA? The plan was to head down to go to, what's the comp? I was going to go down to the comp that was happening at Horseman's this weekend, but when I was in LA, I was supposed to go to EVGA, and that's where I'm dropping the semi off at. Here, your problem now. I can see Josh coming home to find Josh pinned to the garage floor by a semi. Like, help! I need an adult. I need an adult. Do you listen to country? If so, what's your favorite artist? My taste in music is hot garbage. We've established this a million times. I have no musical taste. I do listen to some country music because of Nicole. I can't tell you who my favorite artist would be. Yeah. Yeah. Need more space for activities. That is, it's a thing. That is definitely a thing, and something that there was considerable discussion about today. Music and Josh is like oil and water. Yeah. Hall and Oates. Didn't know that was two people. Just thought it was the name of a band. Like, it's such a terrible name. So, you know. Yeah. But that's why I focus on RC, because my musical taste, nothing else. All right, I suppose we can put this one away. Hall and Oates is good stuff. All right, yeah. You should come down the following weekend for Dead Man's Curl. I would, but like, I wanted to go for a competition. Like, competition is what I'm after right now. I crave competition. Hall & Oates, great name for an Amish band. Is there such thing as an Amish band? I guess that could just be acoustic. Her rig looks like it's got some good flex. I mean, it's probably not bad. It's got the... It's pretty standard, about a tire height, about where you want it. So, what about the cherry red tube Jeep chassis when you were going to start that one? That's another one of those ones that I was talking about for the Flip That Truck series. It's one of those ones that I bought probably over 2 years ago, and it has like not been touched. So it's one of those ones that I'm like, that I need to grab it, and I need to just put it in a series, even if I don't. Like, even if I'm bringing these trucks in and be like, this is one of them. I'm working on it. Here we go. And I just keep going because that's what I really enjoy doing, that stuff. And it would give it a place to be. So that's why I want to bring that series back so bad. Do those for Friday night builds. Yeah, but the problem is that they're not just Friday night builds have been kits and things like that because you're just kind of tinkering on them. Those type of trucks are ones that need like fabrication and design work. And it's like, I could spend 2 hours designing something in CAD to be machined or printed. It's like, that makes for real bad live shows, I tell you. Looks like it's going to be a good comp this weekend. I know. And that's why I'm super bummed that I didn't make it down there. Come to Connecticut so we can go crawling. I do need to check off all those states in the Northeast. Those are some of the, I think I've got like 15 states left that I haven't visited ever. I was like, Nicole and I need to make a trip up to the Northeast so we can just go like ding, 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 like knock all those out in just one big old sweep. Gate challenge at Folsom in 2 weeks. I'll help. 2 weeks. Robbie, there's the next, well, I guess that's a week, isn't it? The next, what do you call it? Backyard Boys comp. And then after that, I think that I do want to arrange something, but I'm going to put in some effort and fully outline the plan for a series. Like, I think 5 events. Prescott, Arizona. I love Prescott. Like, that is one area I would like to move to. It's just, I think that area is so freaking awesome. We crawled at that lake. What's the big lake up there? Beautiful place. Watson? Not Watson. God, it's one of my favorites. Instead of doing the Flip That Truck series, do a dust off the RC and sell it. Like, long story, not so long. That's basically what it would be. Whiskey Row in Prescott is cool. It is Watson Lake. Hi, man. I remembered. We crawled there in 2013 for nationals. Rock crawling nationals, not scale nationals. Such a good time. 5-cent series sounds awesome. Yeah, I think so. I think that is going to be the plan and going to be a good time. So I'll get something like organized and started. I want to crawl Texas Canyon in Arizona so bad. I've never heard of that. Either way, I just want to crawl all the time. I just like RC. All I want to do is drive RC trucks with my friends. If you ever go to Prescott again, let me know. Well, definitely. I'm sure that I will. I want to get down to Arizona in general. It's getting a little spicy now. So, but I think still need to get down that way. Temecula, California. I've been through Temecula. Is there much there? How close is Temecula to like Bakersfield? I can't remember. I know I've been through there. Why is it spicy? Yes. So many of my references now are from internet videos. It's little clips. Prescott is a lot cooler this time of year. Yeah, I know. A little bit up. Just a little bit up there. That quote sounded like I hate my deck. What? My last Bengal would love to see. Oh, yeah, I know. That's a scary, scary phrase. I don't like hearing it that way. I will say I do love our Cheetos now, though. Miss our Bengal the most, but at the same time, he was such an a-hole that I'm actually kind of surprised that Chief and Sookie haven't been in here since Nicole's gone. Like, they would normally be willing to be bothered by me. You should wear a button. You should wear a button up next stream button all the way up to the top. That's what I should do for tomorrow for the live build off with Matt. Hold please. There's Chief. He's gonna make sure he didn't. Yeah, I was just making sure that the cats weren't completely lost in the. I was like, I really haven't seen them in a minute, and that's not normal. He's being a pain in the butt, but they were fine. He's just sleeping. Nicole probably tired him out all day. What's up, Bubba? Good boy. It's the gasket liquor. That was Sookie, I think. This is Chief. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's the big one, though. But I just woke him up. He's like, what are you doing? Why am I in here? How's that breed on shedding? I mean, they shed. Not terrible, though. Not like a long hair cat or anything. Yeah, the look in his eyes is one of annoyance and anger. How many squares is that cat? I mean, if he stretches out, a lot. Yeah? Good boy? You feel like playing with a mouse? That's the thing? Okay. Josh, the next tiger. I thought the gasket liquor was Matt. Yeah, Matt played the. Matt made the commercial. You good boy? Oh, that's a good boy. Will they be sleeping on Nicole's side of the bed? No. When Nicole's gone, they decide not to come sleep with us for a while until they've been like, okay, she's been gone so long that I'm ready for more attention. And then they come sleep with me. But they're more of a sleep on us rather than just by us, which I'm fine with because our animals are awesome. Good boy. He's just sitting watching the stream in the monitor. So Matt made the comment commercial. We collectively made it so Matt would never make a commercial for them again. Good boy. He's looking for a servo to attack. Yeah. How much is that comp stance hat? I think it's 29. That's okay. That was not a nice radio. I sleep with 6 dogs and 4 cats and a wife. Yeah, that's, you know what? Sometimes my Bengal Jinx just likes to sleep between my head and and the headboard. Yeah, these guys, it kind of depends. They're kind of all over the place. It really depends. Chief is a behind my legs cat. Sookie will be between my legs at times. I think I put off more heat than Nicole, so it's happening. I have too many things that can be pushed off the shelves to have cat. These guys are pretty good about it. They're not much for the destructive nature like that. But yeah, that's a National Geographic cat. He's a he's a pretty one. My cat disappears anytime when there's. So we've been having a quail each morning come up and sit on the window outside of our living room, and he'll like peck on the glass. And Chief is like afraid of him. Where Sookie is ready to attack it. But they're all getting pretty. They've got a routine now, a few days in a row, and that's been pretty interesting. I will send you and Nicole some pictures of Jinx. He is 15 for a Bengal. That's pretty good. Our Bengal was he passed early, which was so. You eating beadlocks? But well, 8:47. It's been a pretty good evening. So thanks for checking in. I think I'm going to do some prep work for tomorrow. Would you ever get an ocelot? I don't know an ocelot. He is half Bengal, half Asa cat. Um, but I don't know ocelots much. Honestly, Nicole is the pet researcher. I just say okay or not. I don't fight it that much, but you know. Let's see. I have axolotls. Uh, Never had Bengals, only Maine Coons, and they were huge. Yeah, Maine Coons are big, or bigger even. I mean, the growl is one. God. Greyhound cat. Make an RC your cat can control. They're not afraid of him at least, so you can at least drive him around it. They had dog's feet, right? All right. You done? Like cheetahs? I'm just annoying him on purpose now. Nicole's going to be so upset she missed cat talk. Yes, as I'm sure you all will when this ends. But appreciate all you guys for joining in. It was a good night. I'm going to get a little bit. I'm going to get my new bandsaw set up. I got to get the bandsaw bolted into the new Swag Off-Road table. What time are you going to stream the 24-hour live build? I think. Oh, so I should have talked about that earlier. I think that Matt and I are going to stream for a short time, just mid progress, just as a check-in, just being like, here's not. We're not even going to show the trucks. It's just going to be like a mental check of how we're doing, how much sleep I assume that how little sleep that I've got. And I assume that Matt will be well rested and just being like, oh, well, I thought that I should really, take care of my health first and then concentrate on this. So, yeah. Oh shit, bandsaw. Make sure to check it. Keep a towel close. Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, we will see you guys this weekend, and then we will see the release of the new video next week, Wednesday. Thanks for joining. Hope you guys have a good one. Talk to you soon. Later. Bye.